Coming up,
Beverly and Nathan Henry. Woo!
I got trolled a lot. It was mainly on Twitter, and it was really weird. It was by straight white men saying I was disgusting. I've brought shame to the show. I've ruined the show.
How did you feel about this, Beverly?
I have to keep my mouth shut.
She got banned from social media.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Kids nowadays are probably the most open-minded generation.
Yeah.
I probably would have came up to you at the age of like 10. I would be like, by the way, I think I'm a homosexual. I do want to adopt, but I would like to do surrogacy as well.
Yeah.
I would like a mini me.
Welcome to No Parental Guidance, Beverly and Nathan Henry. Woo! We're celebrating Pride on this episode. It's amazing to have you here.
Okay.
Thank you for coming to join me today. And I say me because normally I have the lovely Louise Boyce with me, but she's not here today. Okay. So this is our first part. Well, don't give her sympathy. She's in camp, getting like really drunk somewhere, like having the time of her life.
Good girl.
So she's, I know. What I love about this is that well, I was born in North Allerton, which is
literally up the road from us.
Literally up the road from you. So when we started talking, you were like, where are you from?
It's because as soon as you walked in, the accent, do you not notice northern people's accents straight away?
I do. And I'm always like, oh my God, where are you from? But some people go, oh, I'm from up north, yeah. And then you go, yeah, but where specifically?
Yeah, because I'm like, I need to know.
We might be related to the same person.
If someone went to you, though, this is an argument I always have with people when they say they're northern. If someone went, I'm from Manchester or Liverpool, like, from
it's
north.
not northern, though,
no,
is
it's
it?
not. It's not.
northern.
I hate that.
You're like, oh, I'm from up north. What, Manchester? That's not northern.
That's not north, love.
Let's come to North
Midlands.
Yorkshire. Yeah. But you've been on the show since like 2015, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like one of the longest standing.
Well, we and Chloe worked this out. So we and Chloe have actually, although obviously you've got the originals, me and Chloe have done the most episodes now, and I think been doing it for the longest time.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So even though we're not originals, technically we've outdone the originals. And if any of them are watching me and watching this, it's true.
God, and you're still really close, you and Chloe, aren't you?
I literally was messaging on the train, wasn't I, when we were on the way down here.
And how did that come about, you going onto Geordie Shore? So you've got these stories of like you being a bit wild, naked like a hamster at home. And you were just like, do you know what? I think this is a good thing for you. How did it come about?
Well, the funny thing is, my mum and my brothers used to watch it all the time, didn't you? I didn't really watch it that much. These would watch it religiously every Tuesday.
Yeah.
And like every now and then I would watch it. And the people that were scouting for Geordie Shore, they came to Darlington. And then one of the girls who does the scouting, she'd heard of all these stories about me being drunk and like being crazy. And she was like, we really want you on the show. And I was like, I don't think so. I was like, I'm not going to get my hopes up because I know you're not going to put me on. She kept hounding me. And then eventually she rang the house phone. And she was like, would you come to an audition in Newcastle? And then eventually I went along and I got a phone call and they were like, we want to put you in the house. And I was like, what? I was like, this is crazy.
And what did you say when he was like, oh my God, I'm going in the house on Geordie Shore?
Tell you the truth, I think it was just because when Nathan tells you something, you just go with the flow because he'll change his mind 2 minutes later.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then he'll change it again. Then he'll change it again. So you just have to wait till that moment.
And has he always been like that?
Oh, yeah.
Since he's been little?
Yeah.
And when he was born, were you like, you could, because I feel like I know I've got 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. And within the first week, I feel like I knew their personalities from like being babies where, you know, I could tell one of them was a bit high maintenance. Yeah. What was he like as a baby and a toddler?
He was very, how can you say it? Like, he used to love playing with his dolls and...
Flamboyant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where the other ones weren't, they were in the mud. But Nathan used to constantly smell his fingers.
Did you...
He would touch something and he would
sniff the fingers. Like oh, right.
Yeah.
Didn't matter what he was doing. He would constantly smell his fingers.
I used to get showered.
What were you sniffing for?
I just liked smells, like
a sensory
this sounds disgusting.
thing.
Yeah, sometimes if you have this sounds bad. Sometimes if you have to have been at the toilet, not because I was smelling for poo or anything like that, but it's just like it's a different smell. Like if I'd been outside or I touched something, it's like different. I still do it now a little bit. Sometimes, especially if I've eaten, I'm always like it's just like I like scents. I think it was probably a sensory thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that is quite a sensory thing,
Is it?
though. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
but it's annoying and all.
Yeah, because I do it in the most inappropriate place. So my mum like, put your down now, and I'll be sat there going like that, sniffing my hands.
Oliver, he was.
No, that's because I've got hay fever.
And then what was he like from like a toddler age to a young boy? Was he like well behaved? Was he a bit mischievous?
No, you were really well
I was an
behaved,
angel,
actually.
wasn't I,
Yeah,
I think?
you used to cry a lot. I know that.
Did I?
Yeah.
Was he a
Why?
good sleeper?
No.
Or was he not?
No.
Why are you pulling that face?
He used to
I
cry all
used
the
to cry a
time.
lot. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm repulsed you. I'm your child.
Yeah,
What, you cried
it
over
was
what?
like your dad used to just put you in the car and take you for drives for hours on end to shut you up.
And did it work?
Eventually.
That must be why now as an adult, sometimes if someone else is driving, I fall asleep in the car.
Are you a car sleeper?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be why. There's a couple of parents at my school, and I know that on night when the kids won't go to sleep, 9 o'clock, the husbands are just driving up and down the
that's what his dad
motorway
used to do.
to make sure the kids have got to sleep. And like the parents are knackered, but the kids have had a sleep.
Yeah.
But those kids now fall asleep
As
in
an
the
adult,
car.
yeah, that's what I like now. If I'm in the car with my boyfriend, if he's driving, I'm like that on a train. I bet you remember when we get the train home, kaput.
Oh,
If I'm not driving the vehicle, obviously, because I need to be awake. But if I'm not driving, it literally like the just sense of it puts me to sleep.
Great company on the train journey
Oh, yeah.
home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
Bring your
prepared
mum,
me for this.
bring your mum to work day. When you went onto Geordie Shore, you went on as bisexual,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Reese, my brother, didn't he? When I told him about the auditions, he was like, "You're not going to get it," and I was like, "Why?" He was like, "You're black and you're gay." He was like, "You need to pick a struggle," but he was very realistic in that because he was like,
Right.
There's no people of color in reality TV at the time. There was literally none. There was no representation, and there was nobody who was gay. So he was like,
Yeah.
"You can't be both." So he was like, "And you can't not be black." So he was like, so I was like, in my head, I was thinking, well, I guess I'm bi. And then I was like, it kind of softened the blow. And then I was like, it was when we got there, I think it was my second series, we were in Greece. And I remember we were in the back of a taxi and the boys were all, the boys chat used to just my head in. They literally constantly talked about girls, constantly.
Yeah.
Like it was, I've never been around, all my mates at home weren't like that alpha. So being around people that constantly talk about girls, constantly talk about this, I was just thinking, this is exhausting.
Yeah.
Because I can't relate to that. And I was just, I remember I got out and I told one of the producers and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And she's like, what? She's like, what, the show? And I was like, no, I was just like, I need to tell, I'm not bi, I'm gay. And I was like, I can't sit in that car and talk about girls saying I want to do this. Oh, that girl was so fit. That's not who I am.
But had you been doing that when you first went on the show
Yeah.
to start with, and it was like forced because you knew?
It was kind of forced. So I was thinking, God, I need to fit in. And sometimes even when we had chats in the boys' bedroom, I would sit quietly because I was
Yeah.
like, I was so anxious that the camera was going to come at me. And I was like, I know I'm going to have to talk about girls and I might have to say something really degrading. I'm like, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
It's never been who I am. So then when I got the chance, one of the producers like, right, okay, this is massive. This is a big thing. Obviously, we need to produce this, but we're going to let you lead with it. Like, who do you want to tell first? How do you want to do it? I was like, I want to tell Chloe and I want to tell Holly. And then I want to tell everyone else. And they're like, right. So then like we built up the way to do that like through a few episodes.
And did you get that apprehension again as you did telling your family that you were gay? Because you knew it was going to be televised. Were you a bit aware of that or not?
Not when you're. It's really weird because when you're filming, like you might get it a bit like this. When you're filming, you forget sometimes the cameras are there
All the time.
and you get
Yeah.
lost in such conversations. So it's like not once did I think this is going to be on telly, and not once did I think this is going to help anyone either. It was more I need to do this, so I'm making this at work environment more easier for me.
Yeah.
Because I was like I knew I could be myself around the girls.
Yeah.
I just needed to bridge that gap with the boys so that when they're having these chats about girls, I can like, the pressure of me having to join in is gone.
Yeah.
And then, but then also, then there is a moment when I was coming out, I'm sat here, I've got the cast lined up there and I've got a whole crew of like 100 people behind the
No
scenes
way.
because everybody turned up for this scene. And I was thinking, my actual life. I was like, well, you've told them you want to come out now, so you've got to.
That many people were
Yeah,
there.
and then literally, I told them, like me and the cast all had a hug, and then once they put the cameras down, every single person on the crew came up. Then I started bawling. We were all crying, hugging. They're like, "You don't understand what you've just done for the show. You don't understand what you've just done." Like, and it was bigger than at that point. It was bigger than me
What was the reaction like when it went out?
on the telly.
Yeah.
So. Obviously, from the crew cast, everything was amazing. I won't lie. I got trolled a lot. It was mainly on Twitter, and it was really weird. It was by straight white men.
Well,
Straight white older men. And some of them had kids in their profile pictures, which I still find bizarre. They're like, you
That is
ruined the
the worst
show. Yeah. And some of them were like calling me the F word. saying I was disgusting. I've brought shame to the show. I've ruined the show.
How did you feel about this, Beverly?
I have to keep my mouth shut. I do have to.
Yeah,
bite
I mean,
my tongue a
hearing-
lot.
She got banned from social media. At one
Oh,
point
did
'cause she
you?
would argue
Yeah.
back, and I was like,
Oh my God, what did you do?
I was searching the person that was going.
I will find you.
She really was.
I was. Yeah.
And I was just
Doing
like,
background checks and all sorts of them.
yeah. And it's kind of
my
like, it's got to be
God.
like a water for ducks back situation. It's like, if you argue with them and then they find out you're my mum, it's kind of giving them what they wanted. Like,
Yeah.
they wanted that nibble. But
But it must be hard in that moment for you to
Because,
read
I mean, when
comments
you
about
look,
your
they've got
son.
young kids themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How they're going to react towards that child if their children come out?
Yeah.
How are you going to handle that if you can't handle someone on TV that you don't even know?
Yeah. And feel the need, like a middle-aged white man, to comment
Yeah.
and say something to you, and you've just poured your heart out and not realising how many people that you will have
yeah.
really had an impact on.
That's what boggled my mind. That people that don't know me have such an opinion, but not only that, your kids are in your profile picture.
Yeah.
And also now everything's chronically online.
Yeah.
If you end up having a queer child, at some point your child will find that tweet that you've tweeted me.
Yeah.
And they will have questions, or that's going to put fear in them. The fear of it's going to put that massive amount of fear in them that they've seen their parent being homophobic, they're queer, and they're just going to put two and two together and be like, I can't tell my dad. And then when that dad is then going to, when that child does eventually come up to him, that dad's going to have that question of, what is it that I've done that's not created this safe space for you to feel you can't tell me? And the child's going to turn around and say, you tweeted someone saying this. And then that's the moment that dad, hopefully if it does happen, or if I hope it doesn't, that dad will be like, shit, that's not who I am now, son, or that's not who I am, daughter. But, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. And I don't know, in 20 years' time, I might get an apology tweet. But I told my mum already, didn't I, that I was gay before I went on the show.
And how old were you when you told your mum you were gay?
It was before uni.
Yeah.
You were the first person I told, weren't you? I think.
Yeah. No, you told.
No, second person.
Yeah,
I
you
told
told
Vicky first.
Vicky.
And then I told
What, Vicky
you.
Patterson?
No, Vicky, one of my friends from home. I
Yeah.
told her because she told me something first. Like that was like a big secret. So I was like, oh, well, I've got a secret too. So I told her that to make her feel comfortable. Then there was a girl that fancied me. Vicky was like, maybe he's just not into girls. Then that girl came out in the smoking area in the nightclub. I was like, are you gay? And I was like, oh, crap. And then literally 2 days later, I was like, I need to tell my mum before this all blows up. And then, so that must have been when I was in college. So it must have been about between the ages of 17 to 18. I told my mum.
Yeah. And how did you tell your mum?
I've been drinking. It's like on the streets,
Really?
as you do, as
was
you do at the
naked?
time.
Oh no, you had clothes on.
And I came home. It wasn't actually quite late, but you were in bed, and I was like,
No, I wasn't. I'd been working, hadn't I? Because I used to do security work. You came in, I was making a cup of coffee, and you said, I need to talk to you. And I went, Nathan, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, and then I followed
And it was like, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. I
Crying.
need to tell you something. I was like, I'm going to bed. Because like,
to make me feel sick, because I can't remember. How did I say it?
you just come out, you just basically come out with it, but you like slurred it because
I'm gay.
you just went, by the way, I'm bisexual. I went,
No, I said I'm gay. I didn't tell you I was bi.
no, I'm sure you told me you were bi. No, you didn't. You told me you were bi.
I sat and waited for about 10 minutes, and you just looked at me and went, what the medal? And she was like, go to bed. And I was like,
Just in a shift here.
yeah, she was probably about to sleep. And then I was like, a bit like,
in the morning, leave
I
me
was a
alone.
bit like, not too sure how that went. She wasn't mad about it. She didn't really care. She wanted me to go to bed. And then the next morning, I was eating my Weetabix in the front room, and you just walked in all nonchalant and went, still gay then? And I was like, yeah. And then she's like, go get dressed then. And then we went out, didn't we, shopping for the day?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, that was great.
And were you apprehensive about telling
Oh,
your mum
100%.
that you were gay? Yeah.
I think I was apprehensive about telling anyone, because it's like, it's a sense of feeling different, and then it's like the feeling of not being accepted by the people you're closest to.
Yeah.
So it's like, I could end up with no parents, no siblings, living on the street. I'm in college. I want to go to university. Like, I've got my whole life ahead of me. It's like you've got all them things weighing on you. At the time, I really fancied my best friend. I thought I was in love with him. So it's like you've got all that going on, and it's like, oh, it's
That's
just a lot.
so much. Yeah, that is so much for you to go through. But
Yeah.
the apprehension and worry
Oh, yeah.
and everything that you'd sort of built up in your head leading up to that moment. I love how you just like, right, is that it then? Okay,
Yeah.
right, I'm going to bed.
I'm like, oh.
And how did it feel at that moment for you that you knew that all of that worry and
Was for
anxiety
nothing. I
was
think-
for nothing?
The massive sense, I slept like a baby that night. Like, it was just a sense of relief, because it's like, well, I know I can rely on my mum. So it's like, okay, That's when you've told one person, it just makes you feel so much better because it's like, I don't have to pretend now in front of my mum. So like, if I'm texting a boy or like, if I want to go meet a boy or like if I've sat fancying a boy, I can go to my mum then because she knows now, at least one person knows. Whereas prior to telling you, if I had them feelings and thoughts, I'm like, I really can't speak to anyone about this.
Yeah, and how isolating and lonely
it's
for
like
you.
You feel lonely, and especially as a bloody teenager. Like, your hormones are everywhere. You don't know, like, you can't navigate things, and then obviously with your parents don't know anything about you. It's like it makes it even more difficult to navigate that, and it was a really confusing time. But then obviously when I told you, it was like, whew.
And were you surprised at all? Because it sounds like you weren't. From him being younger, did you have your
thoughts? I've got a
maybe
photograph it somewhere in the house where you're dressed up and you're in a dress, and I think you were only about 2-year-old.
The Snow White one I stole from nursery.
Yeah.
I love that dress.
Stole it.
So I got shouted at for that though. I did get punished. But I stole that. I love that dress so much.
And then when I used to go out, they used to put you and Reese used to like do shows, didn't you, for the babysitter all the time?
Oh, for Jenny?
Up. Yeah.
I orchestrated that.
Of course you did.
Oh, I love
that. Of course you did.
You know, she talks about that every time I see her when we're walking the dog. She's like, oh. Yeah, I remember we used to dress, I used to always dress as the girl roles. So I'd be the witch, I'd be the evil queen. My brother would either be like my minion or creature, or he'd be another villain.
I love how you. Like, I can just imagine you being like, "I'm having the main
part." No, of course.
Like when we sat down for the show, you've been staring at yourself on that TV, and you were like, "Oh my god, this lighting!
The lighting is so good. Though. I keep looking
so
at myself, catching my eye. I'm like, who's that? Oh, it's me.
You were like, when we do the filming on Geordie Shore, I'm going to ask for this exact setup next week. Now, I love the fact that you've been so supportive about your journey. My brother's gay, and he came out when he was 28, which is quite late, really, for coming out as. And I guess I felt really guilty because when he told me that he was gay, I'd picked him up from the airport. He'd been away living abroad for a period of time, and he was like, "There's something I need to tell you." And I was like, right. And I was literally getting married like 24 hours later. So we're driving on the motorway and he was like, I need to tell you something, but I'll tell you when we stop at the services.
Oh,
and I was like, Andrew, like, if you hurt someone. And he's like, we're from a little town up north. He was like, no, I haven't hurt anyone. I was like, all right, thank God. And then I went really quiet. And I was like, do you need money? Because I haven't got any. We've got to get married. And like, I've spent all my money and more on this wedding. And he was like, no, I don't need money. Like, and then he just said, he was like, I'm gay. And I was like,
what did you say? How did you react?
I was like, oh, thank God for that. And then we stopped at a service station and he was quite emotional about it.
Yeah.
You know, where we grew up in like a market town where people get married, have kids, didn't really have any friends that were gay. And in that moment of him talking, I felt so bad that I was thinking, I should have supported him more than this, because I hated the fact, and it's exactly what you were saying there. It's like all these confusing factors in his head as we've grown up together, and I've just been completely
But the thing is, you would be none the wiser of that, because it's like, I feel like in a way, as a queer person, we kind of have to go through that ourselves. Yeah. Because I think I think it's coming to terms with them things. It's dealing with the battle that you've got inside your head and facing that head on. That is what brings us to, unless you're outed or anything like that. That's kind of what brings us to the point where we feel comfortable to say, I am gay. And it's not because no one created a safe space for us. I think it's literally everything that's in our head that's stopping us from doing that. So I don't think you would have I know you would, obviously, it's nice that you would have felt like, oh, what could I have done better? What could I have done different? I think it's more, I think even if you did create a safe space where we were open on this, I still think there would still be, well, you did, but like, even if it was like, you were so open from like, do you know what I mean? Like if you were telling me about people who were gay, like since I was 10, blah, 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 I still think I would have found something to hold back from saying it, because it is quite a big thing that you've got to share. Not only that, once you've said them moments and them words, it's like you don't know whether how your life's going to change.
Yeah, and you do hear the horror stories of like, you know, people that are not accepted by the families and parents aren't supportive, and it's like you've obviously created this amazing space. Like, is there anything you would change in your head of how you or any of your family members kind of reacted, or was everybody just kind
everyone's been fine, haven't they?
No, there's one thing that just came in my head there. Firstly, when she said, I said to my mum when I came out, then we went shopping, I went, please don't tell anyone Don't tell anyone. She's like, well, if anyone's got a problem, they'll have to go through me. Then the next
You said
week,
you used to be a security guard as
Yeah.
well, so you kick the anyone that's going to be awful
She
about
beat the
it.
with it. But then the next week, her and all my aunties went to town and to get drunk, and then she came to, because I used to hand out flyers like in Darlington, and she came toddling, swanning down the street ahead of all my aunties. She goes, oh, and by the way, I've told them all you're gay. And not one of them's got a problem because I told them if they did, they'd have to go through me. Then one by one, each auntie came, oh, hi, your mum's told us the news. Oh, we love you so much, which was really nice.
Yeah.
And so for mum's like, see you later. Toddled off, and I'm like, right, firstly, I'm glad that you've told them because obviously it saved me doing a job. But then I'm just like, what the
Well,
But I thought that was quite nice because it was like kind of like, I think that helped in a sense. Like you softened the blow. Like you took, like obviously all my aunties knew anyway. Like didn't they? Like, you all knew.
Yeah.
But I think it was nice that you took that role and was like, if you've got a problem, you go through me. And I think everyone was like, we don't have a problem.
and you making that stance to be like that if there is a problem,
yeah.
then
Yeah.
there'll be a problem from me.
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
And I love that. Is that the advice you'd give? I'm thinking to other mums that are listening and watching the show.
That should be your attitude. Doesn't matter what it is. They're your children.
Yeah.
Whether they're coming out or not, whether somebody hurts them in a different way, whether
Yeah.
someone calls them names, they're your children.
Yeah.
You gave birth to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're their protector.
And it's looking at as a parent's perspective and parents listening to the show, how to, I guess a question for both of you, as a parent, if you think, oh, I think maybe my child's gay, is that like a thing? Do you ask, do you have these open conversations? What would you say is the best way to be supported and feel the most comfortable at home?
To that.
I wouldn't say directly ask them,
Yeah.
but drop a little hint. Maybe watch gay programs or like
What are you going to say
I
then?
thought you
Gay
were going to say gay porn. I was like,
I-
absolutely not.
I thought you were going
What
to
the
say, listen, put a bit of gay porn on. See if they're
Gay
like,
porn on the TV. You like that, eh?
you're gay,
That would traumatise me.
just like programs, like with
Gay storyline.
gay
Yeah,
storylines, and just see how they react, and then slowly over time, just
Yeah.
drop little questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I agree with that. I think one thing, obviously, I think in this day and age, parents don't do it now. But there was always that, like, I remember growing up, have you got yourself a girlfriend then?
Yeah.
It's like, why does it have to be a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Like, I think, and I don't think parents ask that now. But I think one probably thing that parents now in this modern day could go, so have you got yourself a partner?
Yeah.
Like, oh, do you have a boyfriend? Or even, I think the question that makes it open, which I find like easy to answer is like to people now when I meet people of this older generation as well, when they ask me, do you have a boyfriend or do you have a girlfriend? They don't assume. Like,
Yeah.
oh, do you have yourself do you have a boyfriend then? Do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Are you seeing anyone?
Oh, yeah, you're
That's
with
an op-
someone.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
an open question because then it's like, if that person does have a partner, they can be like, well, actually, yeah, I've started talking to a boy. It creates that environment where it's like, okay, you're asking me, you've not specified whether it's a girl, so you're not being like, oh, closed-minded.
Yeah.
You're saying, is it a girl, is it a boy? Or like, or have you got yourself a partner? You're keeping it generic. And it creates that space where that gateway where they can be like, actually, yeah, I've started talking to someone.
Yeah.
People have been gay since the dawn of time, like
Yeah.
being gay, queer
Yeah.
since the dawn of time, trans, like it's not a new thing. It's always been there.
Yeah. And it's having the right terminology.
If you're trying, that's the thing. That's the thing that you're trying. It's the effort, and it's like you're consciously wanting to make people feel comfortable. I think that in itself, for maybe it's not for other people. For me, that's enough because that shows that you are an ally. You're not creating an environment where it's not safe. You're creating an environment where it's like, I see you, and I want to understand and respect you, and I also want to include you.
Yeah. I remember when a couple of years ago, my brother sort of said about having a conversation with my little boys to tell them that he was gay. And I was like, well, let's just have an organic conversation. And kids just don't care.
No.
And like
They
you can say anything to them and they're just very accepting because they're so innocent.
Yeah.
There's no stigma around anything. And when my brother said to my eldest, like, oh, yeah, so I'm gay. And then he goes, Bradley said to my brother, he goes, oh, do you not have a girlfriend because you've got such an awful beard? And my brother was like,
Nothing like brutal honesty.
actually, no, that's not the case. And how would you say, Beverly, as a parent, it's a lot of comes down to that reaction. when you're told? Because obviously a child, teenager has been living in this way of this anxiety, this worry to come out. And then all of a sudden, if you're not maybe prepared, or if you're maybe thinking your reaction might be like, what? Or something that become like quite offensive.
Yeah.
What advice would you give there?
Just try and stay as calm as possible and just listen.
Just tell them to piss out of the bedroom. You just done a night shift.
Get out of sight.
Yeah.
I think
Just sit and listen to them. At the end of the day, you don't have to, if it might make you feel like anxious, depressed, sad, unhappy, whatever, but keep your own feelings to yourself until your child is gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think kids nowadays, though, this is what really shocks me. Kids nowadays are probably the most open-minded generation that's ever walked this planet. Like, they don't care about your gender, your sexuality, your race. They just want to live. They want to just live, have fun. And like, they're open to all things, which I think is so beautiful. I think the more time goes on, conversations like this, we probably wouldn't even be having the show in the first place, because it'd be so normal to them.
Yeah.
Like, it really is. And I think I kind of wish that I was born later on, like, in life.
Yeah.
So I could be part of this generation, because then I feel like if I was, I probably would have came out to you at the age of like 10. I would be like, by the way, I think I'm a homosexual. Don't know what it is yet, but like, I would have probably said that at such a young age, because I would have been comfortable. But we're all from a different generation where it's like, it was different in our time. So it's like,
when we got home after my brother had told me, my now husband was watching Nicole Scherzinger on TV. And he was like, he said, my brother was sat there and he was like, oh, you know, I've just told Hannah that I'm gay. And my husband was just like, all right, cool. I wondered why, because Hannah was getting us fish and chips on the way back. You've been ages. Did you get me the curry sauce, Hannah? And my husband was so like, because he was just like, oh, I just knew that your brother was gay anyway. He's like, it's not a big deal. No one cares, do they? So then he's like, and then he went, hey, Andrew, to my brother. He's like, Nicole Scherzinger's looking, she's a really good dancer, isn't she? And then I started getting changed. And I went in to see my brother and I was like in my underwear, and he was like, Hannah, like, you're still my sister. I'm not that type of gay. Can you just get out? You know, that sort of
I
like
love
approach.
that. Boundaries, get out.
Yeah. And then I said, oh, like, what are you going to do? You know, about would you want your own family and stuff like that? And my brother was just like, well, I'm not going to do an Elton John and adopt. So no. Yeah. So he kind of put that.
Oh, he doesn't want kids.
So he doesn't want kids. But you're very different in
your my God,
outlook,
I want an army of children.
You?
Yes. Well, I've changed my stance now. I did want 5, didn't I? And then it was 7.
Oh,
that just goes to prove your point. Then it was like 9. Then I like the whole cheaper by the dozen thing. And I was like, in this economy, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So I've settled on 2.
How would you say then you want your life to progress from here? So you're going to be moving in with your partner. And then in terms of having kids and stuff, what would be the next steps in the process for that? Have you looked into it yet?
Yeah. We've looked in about adoption. We've looked into surrogacy as well. I would like a mini me, basically, narcissistically. I do want that. Me and my partners, we have so much love to give that it doesn't matter where the child comes from, as long as we have at least 2. Because by then I would have been retired and I won't be doing reality TV no more. So I'll be a stay-at-home dad. So I'll be like, this is my life now. Yeah. I think when I do have kids, I'm for my own sanity, I'm going to have one room in my house where the kids are not allowed. And that's a good idea. It'll be a set out like this. Yeah. With a sofa. There probably won't even need to be a TV.
With lighting and cameras like this.
Lighting like this and cameras, mirrors as well, so when no one's going to touch them. Where I can go and relax, and I know there's not going to be anything sticky. I can sit on the sofa. There's going to be no bogies anywhere. It's going to be nice. And then outside can be a war zone. It can be wherever it wants, as long as I have my sanctuary. And if the kids cross that threshold, well, I don't know what I'll have to do about that.
How do you think you cope with being a stay-at-home dad? Have you got good patience levels?
What are you laughing for? I think I've got good patience. Do you not think?
A prime example this morning with the dog.
Oh, it's different. Nah, excuse me. Yeah.
Why? What happened with the dog?
Oh, God, that dog, he me up. We were actually just saying before, I think dogs are harder than kids. People are going to shout at me for this, and because I said
I think they are, babes. I think, you're saying dogs are harder than kids.
They are harder because it's just like a kid at some point understands what you're saying. So when you say no, put that down, get it out your mouth, get away from there. It's dangerous. A child at some point acknowledges that. A puppy, on the other hand, you're speaking a whole foreign different language. So it's going to do what it wants. And this morning, he pulled my plant out the plant at 5 a.m. this morning. I was, get in the house now.
Oh, you gritted your teeth.
I was like talking, like quiet, shouting, like, get it down now. Because I didn't want to wake anyone up. Running around the garden with a plant in his mouth. So, yeah, in terms of patience for that, probably is not. But then that's why I have a partner. It's called parenting.
Yeah. Now, we love a birth story on the show. Can you take us back?
Oh, I don't even know this.
To that magical moment.
I do remember it was 20 hours and 22 minutes.
Never forget. Never forget.
Is that a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time. Yeah, of pain.
I remember your grandma and your dad had come to visit me, and we'd walked onto the landing, and there was, I think it was the Virgin Mary statue on. I think that's where it is. I don't really know. And I got there, and my waters broke.
Really?
Yeah, and I had to waddle back to the ward.
Virgin Mary approves.
Yeah.
Mother Mary.
She was like, it's showtime. And
it was like a day later, she was still sat there.
And can you remember any funny stories around that birth in particular?
Oh, I didn't want your dad in the room. I kept saying, get him out of here now, get him out of here. And then when the
why
doctor
was
come
that?
in, he was no good. He was just no good at all. I swear that. And then there was a doctor coming in, and I looked at his hands and I went, oh God, you're going to put them near me. They were like shovels. I was
Really?
like, oh yeah.
We're going to scoop the baby out today.
Oh, that was horrendous.
Backwards?
No.
Oh, I came out head first.
Yeah, you all come out head first.
I thought Reese came out backwards.
No, he came out face upwards. So they had to stop me and they had to turn him. And he got stuck.
Oh, Christ. What, they turn the baby while the baby's like head's there?
Good God.
Because they have to come out the shoulders, but shoulders, don't they? Normally the head comes out first looking down, and then they stop you to turn them so that the shoulders come out.
I love how you're like, oh God, I can't remember that. You never forget your birth stories, do you?
Like 20 hours and 22 minutes.
Who was the quickest?
Jarvis.
How long was he?
Oh, yeah, it was the fourth one. It's like...
Shelley
Just
Pease.
jumped out.
Yeah. Oh, he's here.
Ta-da!
Jazz hands.
I actually forced him out. I kept saying, I want him out now before midnight, because he was going to be born on your Uncle Benson's birthday. I was like, no, get him out now.
And did you always want a big family?
No,
I mean, you've got it, but...
I've got it, yeah.
Did you want it?
Planned?
No.
Great, so it was a mistake.
Yeah. All of his were.
Best mistake you've ever made, though. Gave you the life of Riley.
You've given me a life, all right. I don't know, Riley.
That's I'm looking forward to the joys of that in parenthood.
I think you'll be an amazing dad.
Yeah, I can't wait
You will
for
be
it.
Amazing. And what are the parenting styles like from like the Geordie Shore lot? If they've all had... By the way, I used to be obsessed with Jay from Geordie Shore. I used to love him.
He's such a gentle giant.
Such a lovely guy.
All the girls, Holly and Sophie, Sophie's just had her first boy.
Yeah.
So I don't know what her parenting style, but I know she's always been maternal anyway.
Yeah.
With all of us in general, she's always been a mother figure in the house. So I think motherhood is going to be just a natural thing to her. Holly is like, she's already got a little boy, so she knows, like, she's not one of these mums where it's like, oh God, they're dirty. She's like, oh, he's a boy. It is what it is.
Yeah.
She just doesn't care now. She's got a little girl, so like, I'm really excited. Marnie has got an army of kids. So she's just took to motherhood like a duck to water, and she's a boy mum for.
How many has she got?
So she's got 2 boys and a little girl.
Yeah.
And then Holly's got a little boy and now a little girl. Sophie's got a little boy. Kyle's already got a little boy, and then Gary's got a little boy, little girl, and he's due another one. And then Aaron's got all boys. And do you know what? As well, they've all got their own individual parent styles, but they're all really great at it.
Yeah.
They're all really great at it.
Because in a lot of reality shows, people fall out and don't speak again, but you all seem like you have all got relationships with each other, and
I
which
think
is
when
really
you live
nice.
with each other, because like when we used to film back in the day, it was for 7 weeks. When you live with
Was it
people,
that long?
Yeah,
7
for like
weeks?
6 weeks. Like, and now it's obviously short. Now we do like 2-3 weeks. But like when you're with people 24/7, all the time, cameras on all the time, no phones, you just build such close bonds. You become family. So it's like you see each other through the highs and lows. That it's like when one of you gets pregnant, we all get pregnant.
Yeah.
Like we're all having another baby.
And do you like announcements to each other?
Yeah,
and...
we'd all do like the big announcements, like all like private, like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And like, it's just, everyone keeps everyone up to date. We're in so many like WhatsApp groups. It's really nice. Everyone, like Sophie's obviously been trying so hard for a baby. And then when we all found out she was pregnant, it was like everyone was tearful and joyful for her because we'd been on this journey with her and seen all the hardships she went through, like all the tests and like the fertility, struggling with fertility. We've all been there with her and like sat down with her at some point, and she's cried to us. So like when we all found out she was pregnant, then when we found out she was having a boy, it was just like we get to go on this journey with her, and now the boy's here, baby Brodie's here. We get to like do all this with him.
And do you see the kids often?
I don't see the kids as often as we would like to, but like when we are all together, it's like we are all very much involved in each other's lives.
Do you all still live up north?
No. I think me and Chloe are the only ones that left in the north.
Oh, really?
Gary's moved to Leeds. Holly's in Manchester. Sophie's in Essex. Marnie's even further down south, like past Essex. Abby's now down in Essex. Jay's in Dubai. James is in Durham. Kyle's in, and Kyle as well, sorry. And Aaron, actually, yeah. Okay.
Everybody's left. Oh, wait, actually.
There's a few of them in the northeast. But yeah, like we're all dotted over, like all over the place. But it's like, so it is hard to keep up with each other's lives. But you should know as parents, it's also hard for them to manage a house of kids, then also do TV and still do social media, and then obviously try and keep up with all of us.
Yeah. So, Beverly, are you different with your grandkids? Like how you'll go, oh, are you okay? Compared to how you were with your kids?
This is one thing I actually want to know why he's like that. So with us, it was tough love. But then with the grandkids, it's like, oh, you've got a bellyache. Oh, your tooth's fell out. Oh, come here.
Just don't go to school.
There's £10. Stay off with me. Have what you want. It's like, I am your child.
I FaceTime my kids just before we started the show, and because my parents are at my house because I moved house yesterday, so obviously I needed help. So I was like, Mum, Dad, what are you doing at the weekend? Do you fancy coming to help me do a full house move with 3 kids or something? Yeah? So apply them with booze and it's fine. But I FaceTime the kids and I was like, oh, what are you doing? And they all had chocolate around here. They're going to school and nursery today. Oh, wow. we're just having Nutella on toast.
For breakfast.
And I was like, oh, that's lovely. What's in the bowl? Cocoa Pops. I was like, I would never have had that. Now, if I go home and say anything, I can't say it because they were looking after my kids.
Yeah.
Is this a grandparent thing there, Bev?
Yeah.
I Talk me through the psychology of it.
I normally have a jar, because you just send them back hyper.
Yeah. And it's, do you
do
it
revenge.
But then kids are going to love you even more if you're like, do you want a sweet?
Yeah.
Go on, give us a sweet. And they give you better cuddles, won't they?
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's because the knowledge of the fact that you don't have to put up with them for 24/7 and they're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we'll be the same though. If you have kids and then grandkids, you'll be thinking, oh, do you know what? Come, I want to be the favourite grandparent. So, Beverly, as a parent, what are your top tips for raising kids?
Tolerance, patience, bottle of gin.
This just gets better and better, really. Well, you've been incredible. Thank you so much for coming on and talking about your journey. And I just hope that people, parents listening, watching the show, kind of there'll be so much to take away from what you've both said as like a mum's perspective and from your perspective as a child. So I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us about it. So thank you. You've been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you. Woo!
Oh, thank you.